Hey everybody, it's Sharon Whiteman here. We're both here, Kelly and myself, very excited to be talking about one of our favorite topics, leveraged income, which is your secret key to amazing cash flow. Now, a little bit about me. I'm a home mom. I work from home. This is all I do is talk about glycan skin food, or the skin food that is in first launch in North America right now. I have a past history of being a nurse and a past history of working with Robert and Kim Kiyosaki. So, the whole approach to wellness from a home business perspective, a leveraged income perspective, is just right up my alley. It was just like a God's blessing when it landed in my lap. I love what I do every day. I feel excited to be with you here today sharing this information, and I'm privileged to work with both of the Kellys, and we have Kelly Kay here today.
Hi everybody, such a pleasure and an honor to be with you and to be talking to you about how to create a leveraged income for yourself. And my history is I've been in retail actually ever since I was 21 years of age. So over 15 years now, I've run a small business myself. So I'm going to be mainly talking about the difference between a retail business and how you can create a leveraged income, and so you can leverage your time and to create time freedom for yourselves. And it's just a real honor to be able to share that with you today, as well as the Youth Miracle Skin Food. Now, some of you may be longing for some me money, or some of you may be actually looking for more than that. I just really wanted to share with you today that whether you're just looking for a little bit extra, or whether you're looking for a lot extra into your household budget, that is okay. Just looking for some me money, some extra money for yourself is perfectly fine. And if you're looking for a whole lot more, that is also perfectly fine. So wherever you're at, we welcome you and we'll show you how you can create that for yourself.
And I think it's really important to take a reality check. I know this is something that was a very sobering experience for me when I first looked at it. It's a little bit comical on one level because it's common sense, but I think most of us in Western society are educated to depend on a traditional retirement plan. So this is just a little graph outlining what it would take to have enough income, enough invested income to retire on a baseline income of $78,000 per year. So you can see here, if you're close to retirement age, like if you'd like to retire in 6 months, you obviously need to be saving $333,000 per month, all the way through. If you're 24 years away from the date that you would like to, it's your choice to retire, you need to be saving $3,600 per month. And I know I'm really passionate about this topic. It's something I learned from Robert and Kim Kiyosaki, and it's something we've taught, especially in women in business type seminars. And we have this little form where it gives you a little graph to count the number of paychecks you have left. And when people start working out what they wanted, what they dreamed and visioned for their retirement, and what the reality was for them, I guess sobering is the best word for it. And on this next slide, this has come from my work with Robert and Kim Kiyosaki. Now, you may or may not have heard of them. Robert Kiyosaki is the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and about 12 best-selling books on personal finance. One of the biggest lessons I took away from him is that, if you really want if you want your cash flow or your financial situation to be different right now than what it is, then really you need to go out and educate yourself beyond possibly what you learned at home or in schools, because who knows what our parents taught us or the schools teach us, but definitely at minimum it's outdated. And the reality is, good jobs are secure. They're few and far between, and the world is changing. Most people don't stay in the same job for even other reasons, not necessarily losing their job. They have multiple careers in different areas in their life today. So, thinking ahead about what you're going to do in your retirement is really important. Kiyosaki, this particular thing is called the cash flow quadrant, what you're looking at right now on the screen. And basically, he, as part of the education process on what he calls financial literacy, he divides different types of cash flow into 4 quadrants. And the left side of the quadrant is you working for money. So whether you're employed, that's pretty obvious. Most of us will have at least had some kind of experience of being an employee and know the pros and cons of that. You're obviously not in a lot of control. You can only earn for the number of hours that you work. It's usually an upside, it's a pyramid situation where the people at the top get paid more and the real hard workers get paid less. And if you work harder, you don't necessarily have an opportunity for advancement. Or the it's a very dog-eat-dog kind of world to advance yourself in that sector. Self-employed is, yes, more freedom. A lot of people gravitate to that, but from a financial literacy point of view, it's some of the factors in challenging on building your cash flow are the same, in that you really can only make as much money as you can have a number of hours in a day, so to speak. So in the self-employed quadrant are usually people like doctors, lawyers, people who contract to go out, say I leave my job, but I'm really skilled, so I'll contract. Those are the kind of people who are self-employed. And on the right side of the quadrant, so that's the B and the I quadrants, so that's where the money starts working for you. And from a Kiyosaki perspective, the definition of business is big business. So this, when he's talking about business here in this quadrant, they have multiple hundreds of employees, and it's secure enough and stable enough and leveraged enough that you could leave that business for a year and it would still advance and prosper. So that's big business, and obviously that's the way people can make quite significant money. We know that. And then the investor quadrant is where your money starts working for you. So people can start in that investor quadrant from any level. As long as you're earning more than your outgoings, you can leave that little bit off the top and start investing it, and people can just make a significant difference in their lives just doing it that way. So I guess the most important thing is to look at be honest in self-evaluating your situation. Now, the next slide is all about Kim Kiyosaki. Now, she's someone who, again, I've had the privilege to work alongside. I traveled with them when they toured Australia, when they used to do their seminar tours here. And you can see here, being financially educated is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. And if you take anything away from these three slides, this part about evaluating what the status quo is right now, really get out and educate yourself. We have lots of education available, but just go researching. The world's greatest experts are recommending that for the average person to make a significant change in their wealth and their financial situation is to start their own part-time businesses. And this group of experts, you'll recognize their faces, they're actually recommending leveraged income businesses as the best way, because it comes with coaching. You don't have to know anything. We walk with you hand in hand. So this is the foundation of why you should be making a choice like this. Kelly?
Yeah. And I guess we've just given you the big picture here of why we all should be looking at creating a business, a sideline business, and creating that leveraged income. So let's just bring it back now into what we're talking about today, and that's our youth skin cream. So I guess how we market skin cream, it is very crucial that you understand the difference to a retail model, okay? So right here, we've got a display here of what the traditional retail model looks like. And I'm very familiar with this after being in retail myself for many, many years. So we've got the producer, then you have the wholesaler, and of course, we've all got the middle things like your advertising and your costs, etc. And then the retailer, which has always been myself, and then it's passed on to our consumers, and there's word of mouth marketing as well. Now, what we're doing with the direct sales is really taking out those middlemen, okay? And in the direct sales industry, we've got the producer, which is Manatech, then we've got us, the consumer, and the word of mouth marketing. The company is then able to reward those that choose to become the advertiser for the company. So that really is the difference between a retail model and the direct sales model, which we are talking about today. Now, what's really interesting is that 78% of people actually trust personal recommendations from their friends, versus only 14% of the population or the marketplace who in fact trust advertising, which is very insignificant really. So we are in the relationship marketing, as we call it, and so the word of mouth marketing, that trust, we naturally fall into that trust or word of mouth marketing, and we just naturally fall into that. So leveraged income. So simply put, our advertising dollar goes to you or to us as the word of mouth people. Okay, so we've got the research and development company, which again is Manatech, and then we've got us, the advertising, the word of mouth, the advertiser for the company, earning up to 44%, and then sharing it with the marketplace. It is simply an alternative, but a very, very powerful method of distribution. It is a very, very powerful secondary income stream for the home or a small business, okay? So that is something that any home and any small business can add into what you're currently doing for income. So here we are, and this is the youth, and this could be a spa, it could be yourself working from home, or it could be a retail distribution model already that is wanting to add in the leveraged income and their secondary income stream. So what we do is we can teach you, we will teach you to lead, coach and mentor, and as your team reaches their goals, it can drive you to reach your goals. So adding this to an existing retail business can exponentially increase your income potential. Okay, so rather than, and myself being in retail, I understand this perfectly. Even though I've got my own small business, there is always a ceiling on how much I can earn, okay? So it is always comes back to how many hours I work, okay? Even though I'm working for myself, I still only get paid on the amount of effort and time I put into my business. So with the income model that we're speaking to you today, so just for instance, I'm on holidays at the moment and my store is closed. So that is not generating me an income, okay? But my second income stream, my Manatech business, is still generating me an income, even though I'm on holidays at the moment. So that really is the difference. So just for instance as well, so say you're a spa and you're in a retail environment. So the clients that you no longer see, and perhaps they moved away or they've changed spas or clinicians, they can still be using youth and referring friends to it as well, and are still generating an income for yourself. Versus in the retail model, if somebody moves away or they stop using, they move away or they change clinicians, you've lost that income. So that is a difference there between the retail model. So your retail income. So the pros of retail is that obviously there's a higher upfront return. Now the cons, of course, and I've sort of just touched on that a little bit, is there's no residual, there's no leverage into your income. You only get paid when you're at work. So it's not leverage. There's only so many people you can reach, okay, based on the amount of hours and the effort that you put into it. And of course, the high overheads that come with a retail business, wages, electricity, insurance, the list is endless when it comes to a small business. And the pros for a leveraged income, okay, your clients become income centers. Income is residual. So you're earning while you sleep or while you're on holidays like I am now. It is equitable, low entry means low risk, and available to anyone. So there's no need to hold stock levels, and there's no need to pay staff, or there's no additional overheads, okay? You're purely sharing the product and you get paid on that. Now the cons are, of course, that there is a lower immediate return, but that's okay because the residual, the leveraged income far outweighs that as you get going and your client base builds.
So Kelly's done a great job in giving you the big picture. We want to just give you a couple perspectives from a closer-in look. Now, as Kelly was talking about, as a retail sales practitioner, your income is capped and it's dependent on the number of hours. So Kelly is a florist, and many of the people listening today and who are coming to us to evaluate this closely are estheticians or beauty therapists, because it's obviously such a beautiful partnership to use youth alongside that model. So you can see here that the same picture as we showed you before of the retail model, where you have the producer and the wholesaler, and then there's you, the beauty therapist, or whatever your business. This also is great for naturopaths or nutritionists, but whatever your own business that you'd be considering or in a process of discovery to add youth into. So let's say, just one example, you might be seeing 100 clients in a month. So that's 5 per day at 20 days per month. That's about 1,200 clients per annum. So some of those will be non-repeat. It's pretty hard to predict. So, but let's just imagine that you are selling an average add-on product to those clients at the value of $50 per client, and say they're making, that's, usually typically markup in retail is about 100%, so that works out to be $2,500 per month, which is $30,000 per annum, and that's a nice little icing on the cake for a retail business, isn't it? That's great. But let us show you how that looks from a leveraged perspective. So this next slide is showing you what the income potential of leveraged income is. Now, so you got the same picture. You got Madtech is on the left-hand side in our case, and they're handling everything except for all the distribution, storage, handling stock. You don't need to carry a lot of stock, and there's you, the practitioner. And you're referring to your clients, and you're not limited to your clients. Obviously, people you love and care about would be greatly benefited by youth. My friend looked at me this morning. She'd just been here for a few days overdue. She says, "You look so much younger," and that's just in 3 weeks. She says, "I just keep looking at your skin, and this is amazing." And so let's say instead, if we just give you, the similar kind of example, you as a clinician instead recommended youth to your clients and say, again, 50% purchase direct. So that's 50 bottles per month at times 12 months. Then at the end of the year, that would be 600 youth clients as that builds exponentially. Now, we have two main programs, a member program and a social entrepreneur program, but just to keep it simple and show you just the potential with the member program, 600 youth clients, we get a 20% commission on that. That's 12,000 in member commission per month. So that's working out, you can imagine what that's going to be, greater than six-figure income in a year as you get to that full capacity of referring youth to your clients. So, there's also, I would like to touch on the social entrepreneur program in the next slide, and we can give you more details once you contact us for that process of discovery. But ultimately, social entrepreneurship is a movement in business that's taking the world by storm. And I've got here, we've got that this is the icing on the cake, but, let me assure you that many people are partnering this for this. I can't understand it. But the priority to them isn't, how great our products are, how equitable our leveraged income plan is. Their priority is they want to change the world. Now, this is just a quote from Harvard Business School. They call it world-shaping change agents. It's time to start investing in, partnering with, and learning from these world-shaping change agents. You will not only contribute to the social revolutions they're fueling, but also position your organization to thrive in the new business landscape they're helping to define. Now, there's some great examples out there of social entrepreneurship business. Tom Shoes in the U.S. is one great one. He went out to make a difference to those children, and in his situation, the children are benefiting and people get great shoes, but you can't partner with him and earn income, and that's where we are different. Now, Sam Castor, who's the founder of our company, this is a quote from him. "When we simply observe the problems around us, we say that's life. When we create the ability to solve those problems, we say that's a living." How important is that? Now, on this next slide, this is just giving you a mathematical big picture equation of how it would work. So this is the social entrepreneur model. And so, while you'll still have within your practice, you'll have people that will just buy you as a customer from you, and that's fantastic. We all do that. But you can also seek leaders. You can also look for 4 key people who would like to change the world, who would like to use this great product, or who would like to change their financial situation. It doesn't really matter their why for getting started, but somebody who wants to take action with you. You partner with them and you partner with us. We teach you everything that you need to do. And just mathematically, you see that as everybody finds their 4, it doesn't take long before those numbers to build, does it? Some people find 4 people in a month. Some people might take 3 months. It doesn't matter. Now, as you can see, it grows from the point of about 340 clients to 1,364 people in your organization. That's crossing from 80 to a generous 6-figure income annually. So you can see that this is a very powerful model and something that you can really partner with and determine your right level of activity. You can, you don't have to go to 6-figure. If you just want next to 20 grand a year, you are in total control. Now, this next slide also outlines the big picture. So this gives you an idea of the potential. Now, platinum is our top level income earning level in the company. It's also our top level of impact. So you can see it's sort of set up in a stair step. At each one of those stair step is a goal for you to head for. It's something set up by our plan, and that as you head for them, not only do you help more people, but you make more of a distance to your financial bottom line. You can see we've got 2 columns surrounded in orange there on the right. So as you can see, starting at the bottom, the income is gradually increasing as you move closer and closer to platinum. Now that same thing happened in the right columns. Look at the number of children you're impacting. You know what I'd also like to add, yes, you know, we're saving children's lives, but also out of all those people that as you get to each stair step, every single person that you pass this information on and they choose to partner with, you're completely changing their life as well. So, you know, there's nothing really better than this is amazing. It's, you know, you gotta love every part of this, really.
Yeah.
Now the next slide, over to you, Kelly.
Yeah, so basically what we'd love to see you do is take these 4 simple steps with us, okay? So firstly is get back to the person who invited you to watch this presentation, ask questions, really think about and review openly, and be very, very curious. Ask lots of questions and make sure you get those questions answered, okay? Now and then number 2 is get started and experience the benefits of youth, okay? Like Sharon said, you know, we're looking 10 years younger in just 3 weeks, and that is not an exaggeration. That is what is a normal experience with this youth cream. So get started and experience for yourself the benefits of youth. And thirdly, help others and subsidize your wellness technology and your investment into this business. So create a leveraged income and partner with us to create the lifestyle and the income of your choice, whether that is some more me money or whether that is a big picture creating long-term lifestyle freedom. And of course, help us change the world and the lives of the children at the exact same time. So we would love for you to join us and take those 4 simple steps.
So just in summary, as we're completing, you know, this is a genuine picture of a child who we're impacting in the world with the M5MEM program, the Mission 5 Million, where every time, if your choice is to say, I want to try this youth, I want to look 10 years younger, and I'm choosing a product that also saves a child, that's a huge benefit. That's one simple act, but you can imagine the impact that would have on this child. And if you partner with us, like do that journey of discovery and exploration with us and go, you know, your heart's resonating, yes, I'm going to partner with you. Just think of how many hundreds of children that you be participating in changing their lives. And we'd like to just complete with this invitation. The next slide, just offering, you know, for you to join our team, the 2 Kellys and myself. We're launching Youth to the World. It's in its early launch phase in North America, pre-launch for Australasia, and ultimately, you know, you're changing your world, change their world, and changing the face of the world with this breakthrough glycan technology.
And on behalf of Sharon and myself, we would just like to thank you for joining us. We honour you for taking the time to look at this presentation, and we would really like to see you as part of our team very soon.